My name is Mirioma. I am not your enemy. I am a secret friend of your mother. Your mother is in danger.
This is the story of Obina, the hunchback. Long before the elders of the land grew gray, before footpaths vanished beneath stubborn grass and forgotten footsteps, there stood an Igbo village called Umuoke, cradled between red laterite earth and ancient Oha and Iroko trees. The people of Umuoke believed deeply in signs. To them, nothing happened by accident. Births whispered secrets, deaths argued with destiny. Even silence, they said, spoke louder than drums. On a night when the moon hid its face and the wind refused to sleep, a woman named Amaka Okori cried out in labor. Her screams tore through the huts like lightning. At that same moment, far above the village roofs, her husband, Okori, the village palm wine topper, climbed his favorite palm tree. He had climbed it 1,000 times before. He knew its scars, its bends, its moods. But that night, the tree felt unfamiliar. The wind rose suddenly, sharp, angry, unforgiving. The rope that held him, old and tired, snapped like dry twine. Okori fell. The earth received him without mercy. By dawn, a child was born. By dawn, a man was dead. The women who washed the newborn whispered before the baby even cried. The elders who gathered near the Obi exchanged troubled glances. "This birth is not ordinary," murmured Elder Maduka, his voice shaking. When they turned the child over, fear spread like wildfire. His back curved unnaturally, a heavy hump pressing against his small, fragile body. Amaka reached for her son with trembling hands. They named him Obina, meaning the father's heart. But from that very day, the village attached another name to him, one spoken only in hushed tones, never near his mother. Umu-Anwu, child of death. Obina grew under eyes sharpened by suspicion. Children stopped laughing when he approached. Mothers pulled their sons away as if misfortune were contagious. Some elders spat on the ground after seeing him pass. "He carries death," said Elder Okafor. "He bends fate," added Elder Uchanyi. Only his mother stood like a wall around him. When hunger came, Amaka went without food so Obina could eat. When insults followed him home, she wiped his tears and whispered courage into his ears. "Your back may be bent," she told him softly, "but your spirit stands straight." Still, life was cruel. As Obina grew, loneliness weighed heavier than the hump on his back. He learned early to speak to goats, to trees, to shadows. At night, he dreamed of his father falling endlessly through darkness. One harsh, dry season morning, hunger gnawed at their hut like a restless animal. Amaka tied her wrapper tightly. "I must go to the farm," she said. A strange coldness settled in Obina's chest. "Please, Mama, don't go today." She paused. For a moment, fear flickered in her eyes. Then she forced a smile.
"If I don't go, we won't eat tomorrow." Before leaving, she sent him to fetch water from the river in the forbidden forest, a place called Ohia Mua, avoided after strange disappearances and whispered stories. The forest felt wrong. The river was too still. As Obina bent to scoop water, something cold brushed his leg. He froze. A fish, golden and glowing, with eyes ancient as the earth, sat calmly beneath the water, plaiting long strands of hair like fine threads of light. Terror seized him. He dropped the pot and ran. "Obina." The voice stopped his heart. The fish now rested on the riverbank, its gaze gentle but heavy with age. "My name is Mirioma," it said. "I am not your enemy." Then softly, as if breaking a sacred oath, "I am a secret friend of your mother." Before Obina could speak, the fish whispered again, Your mother is in danger." Obina ran until his lungs burned. The village square was crowded. At the center lay Amaka's body. A massive snake had struck her while she harvested cassava. The elders said it was fate. Others said it was Obina. He screamed until the world went black. From that day, no one fed him, no one spoke to him. Children threw stones when he passed. "He has completed his work," said Aunt Ifunanya, his father's sister, her eyes sharp with hidden jealousy. "Let him go to the forest with the spirits he brought." Weak and starving one night, Obina crawled to the river. "If spirits exist," he whispered, "hear me." Mirioma rose from the water.
From that day on, the fish fed him, taught him, strengthened him, but never without warning. "Your suffering is a doorway," it said. "Walk through it patiently." Years passed. Obina grew, not in body alone, but in wisdom. When King Ezeanyi announced the sacred contest to find his successor, the village of Umuoke shook with excitement and mockery. The king was old, his beard white as egret feathers, his voice still strong but weary. Tradition demanded that the next ruler be chosen not by blood alone, but by destiny itself. Any man of Umuoke could present himself at the village square at dawn, where the trial of the stone awaited. Bound deep within a massive black rock, older than memory, lay a machete forged by the ancestors. Legends said only the one chosen by fate could move it. Many had tried in generations past. None had succeeded. So when Obina walked toward the square, laughter followed his steps. Obina, the bent-backed man. Obina, the quiet boy who smelled of river water and fish scales. Obina, whose spine curved like a bow against the sky. Children whispered, men scoffed, women shook their heads in pity. "What does he think he is?" someone muttered. "Even standing straight is a battle for him," another laughed. "A cursed back cannot hold a kingdom." Obina said nothing. He had learned long ago that silence was safer than defense. He stepped before the stone. The square grew quiet, not with respect, but with anticipation of failure.
Obina placed his hand on the machete. The earth trembled. A sharp crack split the air as the stone fractured like dry clay. The machete slid free, gleaming in the morning sun. The sound echoed through Umuoke, rolling into the forests and across the river. Laughter died mid-breath. Silence swallowed the square whole. King Ezeanyi rose slowly from his throne. His eyes widened, then softened with recognition. The elders murmured ancient prayers. Destiny had spoken, but destiny, as the ancestors warned, always demanded more. Before Obina could be crowned, calamity struck. Princess Adeyanji, the king's only daughter, fell mysteriously ill. Her beauty faded like a dying flame. Her skin burned with fever, yet no sweat came. Her eyes stared into things no one else could see. The best healers were summoned, from neighboring villages, from forests deep with secrets, but none could cure her. Charms failed, herbs rotted in their hands, incantations returned as echoes. King Ezeanji wept. "It is not a sickness of the body," the oldest Dibia finally said. "It is a sickness of truth." Obina knew where to go. That night, under a moon thin as a blade, he returned to the river where his fate had first been bent. Mirioma rose from the water, her form shimmering. Her eyes held ancient sadness and endless knowing. "You have come for more," she said softly. "I have come to save her," Obina replied. Mirioma handed him a calabash of sacred water, glowing faintly like moonlight trapped in liquid.
But her voice hardened. "This water heals only when truth is paid. A hidden sin poisons the land." The truth came swiftly and brutally. Aunt Ifunanya, Obina's guardian since childhood, could no longer hide. Confronted by the elders and the power of the river, she broke. She confessed her jealousy of Obina's mother, her hatred of the child who survived when others did not. She admitted to bending his back with witchcraft, to sealing his destiny beneath mockery and pain. she confessed to poisoning the princess's spirit in desperation to stop Obina's rise. Her voice trembled as the last secret fell from her lips. When the confession ended, life left her body. She died with the truth still warm in the air. Obina poured the sacred water over Princess Adeyeze. She woke before dawn. The wedding that followed was quiet, heavy with awe rather than celebration. Enkay had learned fear. Fear of what hides behind laughter. Fear of destinies misunderstood. After his coronation, Obina returned one last time to the river. Mrioma touched his back. Bones shifted. Slowly. Painfully. Miraculously. The village watched as destiny straightened itself. Obina stood tall, not just in body, but in spirit. He ruled with wisdom, humility, and memory. He listened to the poor. He honored the river. He never forgot the weight of laughter. And one morning, the fish vanished from the river. Mrioma was gone. Enkay learned too late that not every bent back carries a curse. Some carry kingdoms.